Peace and love, family. Black first. I am DJ Joker, and you're watching the Midwest Black. Now, this podcast right here is for Black business and Black empowerment. Now, let's do the work, family. Before we get into today's guest, just make sure if you're watching that you are subscribed to the channel and also have the bell notification icon turned on so you won't miss out as soon as I upload a new video to YouTube. Now, moving on. Today's guest is a personal favorite of mine, and he's hailing all the way from St. Louis, Missouri, and he's bringing the jokes from there all the way out to LA and back again. Ladies and gentlemen, help me in welcoming one of the best comedians and actors in the game right now. This is Willie Macc. All right, everybody, we back. Once again, thanks for joining us. And again, I got something special for you all. My brother, Willie Macc. Upcoming upcoming comedian from the STL, and he's here and he's gonna chop it up with us for a little bit, man. So again, brother, first off, I'd like to say thank you for being here with us. How you feeling?
I'm good. Thanks for having me, man. Just trying to stay busy during these quarantine times. It's hard, but you have to, because I talk to a lot of friends, and not just friends, but like comedians, because we're used to being out almost every night at a comedy club, writing jokes together. So when you pull the rug from a lot of people, especially us, it's like it's hard. But I've been finding ways to like keep busy. So now they're doing like Zoom comedy shows, or they'll do like Instagram live comedy shows. And over the past like couple of months, my following on TikTok has gone from like 500 followers to I'm at like 150,000 followers.
Yeah, I saw that, and that's interesting. And there's been some other people that suggested I do a TikTok. I'm not really into it, but the people that are, man, it's crazy and I love it. There's so much entertainment on there. I've seen some of the work you've done, so you definitely keep me laughing. And for my listeners out there, if y'all have not seen some of the stuff this brother do, definitely go check that out.
Oh yeah, please do. I can use the follow.
Oh, definitely. So before we get into a little bit deeper, again, a lot of my listeners, they already know who you are. You got a pretty nice following, and they've been keeping up with your career. But we just want to know real quick, what were you doing before you, decided to take on stand-up comedy, and how were things looking before you dove into that career?
Wow, that's interesting. So I came here from St. Louis chasing a chick. That's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
It was this girl. She's like, "Hey, I want to go to Los Angeles. I want to be a model." Because in St. Louis, she was a model. She did all the runway shows. Anything that happened in St. Louis, she was on.
Okay.
And then she was like, "Hey, I'm gone." And I was like, "No, don't leave. I'm gonna go with you." Because most people, I discouraged it for a little while. Because most people from St. Louis don't leave St. Louis.
They don't.
And not just St. Louis, but like, I had a cousin. He's 50, he didn't get on a plane until he was 49. It's like some people aren't even like flying out to just go see everything, because they're like, what do I need to see if everything is here? I'm like, no, I mean, yes, it's true in a sense, but it's like different people, different experiences, different cultures, and all of that. So I was telling her at first, I was like, no, don't leave St. Louis, just stay here. You can stay modeling here. But when she left, I came with her, and quickly she found out that modeling in St. Louis is a lot different than modeling in Los Angeles.
Oh, definitely.
In St. Louis, a size 8'10" is still considered skinny. And so when she found out that she had to be like a 0 and a 1, it's like, what?
Oh,
like,
man.
So,
man.
It was,
That's crazy, though.
Here. So I went to, so let me finish this story in short. So I came out here, I was going to school to be a lawyer. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a lawyer, and lawyer going to school for being a lawyer was like almost $300,000. So I wasn't
Really?
able to do that. Oh yeah, being a lawyer. I was trying to go to Western University,
Oh,
and
okay, okay.
and
Now,
it was too expensive. I wasn't able to do it. And then I needed some work, and I just decided to start acting. It was background acting first, with people that just like walk in the backgrounds.
right, right, which is
And
a good way to get
it
started.
was, yeah, it was an interesting way to get started. It's not something that most people want to do because you're working like all day for $54. You might make
Mm,
up to 100. And so one day I did background work on the Bernie Mac show, just
okay.
being a person walking
Shout
by.
out.
Shout out to R.I.P. to Bernie Mac.
Definitely.
And so I did this. I was on there, and Kalita Smith, who played his wife on the Bernie Mac show, she says to me, "Where are you from? You look country." I was like, "Oh, I'm from St. Louis."
Dirty.
And she was like, "Oh, really? My assistant's from St. Louis." And so she brings her assistant, and the question that everybody asks when they find out that you're from the same city is, "What school did you go to?"
Yep, yep. They want
So
to
I was
know,
like,
man.
Hazel, and she's like, Hazelwood Central. I was like, "Oh, that's where I went." She's
Yep.
like, "Frank Smith?" I was like, "Yeah." So Bernie Mac comes out, and he's like, "Who's this melted milk dud y'all talking to?" And Bernie Mac was the coolest person in the world, and I said, whatever it is this guy does, I want to do that. So I've been on this path to be Bernie Mac. That's why I'm now Willie Mac, and I add two C's because he inspired me that much.
Oh man, that you know what? That's great, and I didn't know that. And Bernie Mac is an inspiration of mine. As well as a
Hmm.
bunch of other comedians, Jamie
Yeah.
Foxx, Martin Lawrence. Guys like that. So for you to actually meet them and being around and being a part of the show, that's great, man. So I receive that energy on the behalf of our fallen brother. So
Yeah. Take
that's
it.
that's
Take it.
real, man. So yeah, hats off to you. So I asked, I know along the way, there's always, ups and downs, things you go through. And I was looking
Mhm.
at, some of your stuff you did. I think it was kind of like a short doc or short film, just digging into you a little bit more in your background and things like that. And you had something that really caught me, and that was that it's not impossible because I'm possible. And that
Yeah.
whole movement, that you were, kind of creating there and doing things in the community, how did that really come about for you, and what was that time like?
That time was a very difficult time for me because I was out here because LA is just difficult in general.
Yeah.
And I broke up with this girl, and then
Mm.
I didn't have a place to stay, so I was living with my little brother. Not just
Mhm.
living with him,
Shout out.
I was sleeping. Yeah, Jonathan actually.
Yeah, yeah.
Jonathan was living out here for a little bit, my little brother Jonathan, and he already had somebody sleeping on his couch. And he was like, "Well, the only place I got for you is the floor." So I was sleeping on
Mm.
my little brother's floor because I had nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
And it's not impossible came from I had this job interview. My friend was like, "Hey Willie, I know you edit. Um, Come to this interview. I might have a job for you." So I go to the
Okay.
job interview. I'm killing it. And this person says, "Oh, do you know how to edit on this software called
Mm.
Avid?" In true hustler St. Louis fashion, I was like, "Yeah, I know how to edit on Avid.
Of
Whatever."
course, of course.
Yeah, yeah, of course, of course. I never touched Avid a day in my life. I never even heard of Avid until this dude spoke it. So
Wow.
I told him, I was like, "Look, I'm gonna work here for 2 weeks for free just to show you all, make sure we all connect." They was like, "All right, cool." So I was learning Avid as they was giving me assignments to do on Avid. I was on YouTube, Google. I bought a book, and
Mm.
not just that, I didn't have a car. So from my brother Jonathan's place to this job was a 3.5, almost 4 hour bus ride
Damn.
every day.
And I'd have
Every
been on the
day.
bus for 2 hours and can't stand it. So 4 hours in LA, oh man, that's rough.
I had to ride my bike 2 miles to go to the bus stop, take the red line or take the green line to the blue line to the red line, take another bus, and then ride my bike to the job. So I did, and the days that I missed the bus because the last bus back home from the job to my brother's place left at 7 o'clock. So I
Mm.
used to try to, and my job was over at 7. But if I snuck out at 6:55, I was always able to get to that bus on time. Or if the bus ran late, I was always good. There's been times where I missed that bus, and I
Oh, yeah,
like was like just out. I started packing with an extra shirt in my book bag just in case I missed that bus and had to sleep on the bus bed.
damn.
So and then I started doing good. I got a couple of raises, and I was doing all right. I was finally able to get a place of my own, and I just had this mentality of always like looking at myself in the mirror, just like you can do it, Mac. You can do it, Mac. You can do it, Mac. And I was like, if someone else was able to do it, I'm able to do it.
Definitely. You know what? And that's really good, hearing those words from you, and everything that you went through, because like I said, a lot of people don't know. And, those type of stories, just along the way of other people I met and just my own personal story has become an inspiration for me. And I'm actually working on a short film about my life.
Hmm,
And I
nice.
want to put that out, at an earlier time. So it's like my fans and listeners, they can really know me and understand, the ups and downs, because we all human, we all people, and we not just sitting on top of the mountain. You got to get up there, so it's
Hmm,
good to hear that, man. And
yeah,
like that's what it's about. We come from an environment where, again, you got to hustle. The strong will survive, and you got to keep, scratching, clawing.
yes,
so
you do.
so with that, man,
So
oh,
real
go ahead,
quick, as
go
we're
ahead.
talking,
Hmm.
I'm also going to be writing jokes because here's what's interesting about my joke writing session and how I write is
Okay.
that my jokes all come from a real place. Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm writing down right now. I
All right.
used to be homeless. I
This
used
is gonna be good,
to
y'all.
be homeless. All right, because my one thing that I get from people, they're like, man, the reason why I'm doing so good, like there's been comics on TikTok for months, if not way longer, and they got a third or even a fifth of the following. Like they're excited to get to like 10,000, like they're doing something. But if you read the comments that you hear or see on my TikToks, people are like, I just went through that. I know how that feels. I write my stuff from a very relatable and very real place. So right now I wrote down I'm homeless.
Okay.
And the way that I plan on spinning that is like I take people through like an emotional journey. So I'm like, I used to be homeless. So when you hear that, most people are gonna be like, "Oh man, dang, like
Yeah.
okay, this is sad." And I'll pause for a little bit, and I'll be like, "Those were the good old days." Which from now, that shock makes people laugh. They're like, "Oh, what? Who thinks like that?" And
Hmm.
I'm like, "Yeah, I didn't have to pay rent. I would just walk around. People would give me free meals. Like being homeless, like if I'm now making homeless seem like something where people like, oh snap, that sounds actually kind of cool, like or whatever. However, I spin it, and
Right.
so I write out like that. So that's what I. So if you see me on my phone, I'm not texting someone like, "Man, call me so I can get up this energy."
Brother. Oh no, you good. Like we just said, the hustle don't stop, man. Like I said,
Nah.
you're not bothering me, man. And that's what we want. You got to think all the time. That's what gives you
Mhm.
material. That's what keeps you being creative. That's what
Yeah.
keep you being requested and all of that. And I really think it's paying off. Matter of fact, I know it's paying off, my brother.
Oh
And
yeah.
and and people have been, like I said, joking and laughing all over the world with some of the stuff you've done. And recently I saw the whole, the glasses thing, the angry black guy, glasses on, glasses off. And it's funny too, because I wear glasses and I was like, you know what?
Uh-huh.
Mac is right.
Yeah.
And I had to think about that. So how do you feel about all of the fans, doing that and, doing that off of something that you created?
That's incredible. I never would have thought that something like that would have happened because I'm still new to TikTok. I was one of those people that refused to be on it. I didn't get it. I didn't understand it. And then one day my boy was like, "Why don't you just cut up some of your old stand up clips and just start posting those on TikTok?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, all right, just throw it out there, see what happens." I did it, and then it was like the first video was like, 'cause at first I was doing reaction videos, and it was getting like 500 views, and I was okay with that.
Yeah.
Now, if I get less than like 20,000 views, I'm like, what could I have done differently?
Hmm.
And so
Yeah.
now I'm seeing people act out my stand up bits. I'm like, wow, I must have really touched them enough because I'm sure they watched plenty of other things on there but they took the time to reenact what I was talking about and the experience that I had with the glasses. And that joke came from one thing, if y'all don't know anything about me, I book a lot of commercials. I've done.
Oh yeah. Hey,
There's a
and I
brand.
love your commercials. And real quick, let me say,
Yes.
now when I see some stuff on Hulu or these other sites or whatever, I'll be like, yo, where's Macc at? So I'm looking for you. And I know if I am, other people are looking for you, man. So congratulations on all of those.
Thank you. So I've never booked a commercial with my glasses off. And I was like, why have I never booked a commercial with my glasses off? So I used to just look at myself and be like, okay. They
Right.
saying I look safer with my glasses on, and I was like, that's funny. I'm like, I'm gonna say that on stage one day. I'm like, what y'all think? Do I look? And that's how that bit ended up becoming, and then obviously it resonated with a bunch of black guys, and they started acting it out. And not
Definitely.
just black guys, it was like white kids doing it too. Like they was acting out that bit. So that's also talking to that person that it resonates to them like, oh, that's fucked up, or
Yeah.
however they feel. And so when they reenact it and post it, now there are people that's following them or watching it. So it's like touching a lot of people from just something that just happened to them.
Yeah, and that's the good thing about comedy, it can bring, people from different cultures, different races all together, make everybody laugh, feel good. We can say embarrassing stuff that we all went through it that's relatable, and we're like, yeah, and we're gonna laugh because we know it's true. So with that, again, man, we've been watching, we've been following. So you got a stand-up coming out, we hear. So can you tell a little bit about that and what's going on with that and how you feeling? I know you got to be excited.
I'm excited. It's one of my first TV. Not one of. It is the first TV like stand-up special that I have with Revolt TV, Diddy Station.
Okay.
It's called Funny AF. It'll air on August the 24th, and it's a lot of jokes that I've been working hard on for a long time.
Okay.
And it's baby steps to my Netflix special.
There we go. Because that's where we want to see you, man. I already think you can stand in hold your own with some of the greats out there now that we see on Netflix. So we need that, and we can't wait till that happens. Matter of fact, I'm gonna say it again. It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
And
as long as my numbers keep going up, like I'm getting about 1,000 extra followers every day, and every post I do, like it's happening. So once those numbers go, because the numbers end up better than cash.
Yeah.
Because people are like, oh, he got 200,000 followers. Wow, he must be doing something. For me to have that many followers and not already be a celebrity, like I used to be a celebrity. But now, it's been years, and now it's like, who is this guy? Why have no one told us about this guy?
Oh, yeah.
So, it's going to happen.
Yeah, definitely. And they're in for something, like I said, if they don't know. That's why I had to get you, on the show, just so, my fans can hey, tune in and you need to go, check my man out. And, saying that too, what's the deal, with Macc's comedy spot, I believe it is that you have. I've seen that. And is that what's featuring the famous Afro Noodles already? What's going on?
Afro Noodles. I wish my boy was here to hear that. So
yeah, shout out.
Shout out to my boy Danny Plum, Reed Shannon, Afro Noodles. But that Macc's comedy spot was my way of coping with the fact that there's no comedy clubs open anymore. Not in Los Angeles, or there's some scattered around the country, depending on what state you are. But it satisfied my need to do stand up, and I would invite a couple little people over just so I can have a little audience.
Yeah.
Most times it's So, and then on top of that, I'm noticing I'm using up a lot of my clips on TikTok, and I'm like, oh, I got to come out with some new content. So I was like, I'm gonna write. I'm writing jokes all the time, almost every day. And so I was like, let me just start recording my jokes and putting them on TikTok. So that's where Macc's comedy spot came from.
Gotcha. Yeah. And I've seen a lot of funny stuff on there. So again, for those who's listening, to fans, you got to check out, Macc's comedy spot and everything that's going on with that. So, I mean, what else you want to say, man? What you want the people to know? How can we follow you? What else? The time is yours before we get
Man,
off.
please follow me. I used to say follow me on Instagram, which you still do, but right now it's a TikTok world. So,
Mm-hmm.
but my TikTok and Instagram are the same. It's WILLIEMACC. So that I'm writing a lot these days. I'm writing a couple of scripts. I have 3 different projects at 3 different production companies. So hopefully a network picks up one of them so y'all can see a lot more of me.
Definitely.
And not even just that. So I'm not waiting for anything. That's one thing that I've always been like big on is why wait? If you have the means, the drive, to do it, you can do it. I'm going through the phase of where Master P was selling records out the back of his trunk. I'm going through that phase.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going through like, why am I waiting for a comedy club? Let me put up this brick wallpaper, get a microphone, and I sit here and tell my own jokes to whoever I want to invite. If I do it on my Instagram Live, you at Macc's Comedy Spot. If I do it on TikTok, you at Willie Macc's Comedy Spot. Like,
yeah.
I'm starting my own way, and I feel like a lot of people need to do that. People just sitting around like, like they think here's a joke. I can't wait for things to open back up. Like, no, don't wait.
Yeah.
Tomorrow ain't promised to none of us.
Yeah, and it's good that you say that because I had to deal with some of those kind of things, just getting the Midwest Black off the ground. I had friends of mine like, hey, it sounds like a good idea. You need to go ahead and do that. And I was like,
yeah,
I gotta wait because I want this right. They're like, well, it's never gonna be 100%. Just dive in and do what you're feeling, and you'll end up creating something great. Every step of the way. And I start doing that, man. And I feel that, and so I definitely can relate when you say that.
Yeah, so my next tattoo that I'm getting is going to be a scripture that's close to me that my dad has always said over the years. He's been saying this to me for about 10 years. Mm-hmm. Do not despise the days of small beginnings.
Okay, I like that.
A lot of people look at their down days and their life sucks. Maybe your life does suck. So, I mean, it's how you look at it. Like, what do you do with your sucky life? Just sit around and sulk all day? That's fine.
I'm not.
I'm not. Yeah. I'm not. Because if I can sulk all day, that means I can also try to change the way that I feel that particular day. It means that I can do something about it. And then when you do not despise the days of small beginnings, when you finally get it, it makes you appreciate it even more. A lot of people were given opportunities and they don't appreciate it. That's kind of like what happens to a lot of these kid stars. These kid stars get so much when they like 5, 6 years old, and then in their 20s they like drug addicts because they messed up.
I saw Aaron Carter on Vlad TV the other day. He still don't look right.
Man, still don't look right. Like he look like he ain't eating. Look, if crack was a person,
it would be him. And then
Aaron Carter.
And then for a minute, when I glanced, I was like, "Is that Yellow Wolf?" I was like, "Oh no, that ain't Yellow Wolf. That's Aaron Carter." Okay. Had to get it.
So I would like to leave people with that as well. And obviously, my quote: "It's not impossible because I'm possible," and that's just stems from the fact that someone told me that there's trillions of dollars in the grave right now. Trillions. People who had a good idea, people who shoulda, woulda, coulda, and then just died. I just need 5 more people to believe in me, and then they croak. And it's like, man, remember when Grandpa had that idea for X, Y, Z? It's like, come on, man, let's go, let's get it. There's money out there.
Don't be Grandpa.
Don't be Grandpa.
No, we gonna do better, and that's what we're here to do, man. That's what family's about. Black first, brother. Thank you for being here on the Midwest Black. I really appreciate you. Everybody's gonna run over. We gonna support you. We waiting for the special. We got your back. St. Louis got your back. Cleveland got your back. And when you come here, we gonna put on for you.
Let's do it. Thank you all. Thank you.
All right, brother. We'll catch you around.
All right, boss. Take care.
Peace.